So, if you've been struggling with anxiety for some time, you've probably been told by a GP or a health worker that it's caused by something called the fight or flight. But what exactly is the fight or flight? Well, it's a defense mechanism that kicks in times of danger and sets in place a whole set of bodily reactions designed to gear us up for action, to get us out of danger, or to fight the danger, or sometimes to freeze. Before I explain this in a little bit more detail, I'd like you to take some time to just write down all the physical feelings and sensations that you have when you're experiencing anxiety, so that you can compare them with the kind of bodily reactions that I would describe as part of the fight or flight, so that you can see that the two things are in fact the same. Anxiety is in fact caused by the fight or flight. So now that you've written down some of the physical symptoms that you experience as part of your anxiety, and you'd like to understand why you have those feelings and sensations, I'll explain what the fight or flight is and how it affects our bodies. So the best way to explain the purpose of the fight or flight is to imagine a time when humans lived in a more primitive way, perhaps part of a tribe, living in caves and going out every day to forage for food. And at these times, we may have been in danger on a daily basis. If we were separated from our group, we may become prey to another animal that's out hunting for its food. So, if we imagine one day being out looking for some food, we get separated from our group and we turn around and suddenly we see a pair of eyes looking back at us, and we realise that we've been stalked by a saber-toothed tiger and it's staring back at us, ready to pounce. Under normal circumstances, we wouldn't be able to escape. But when the fight or flight kicks in, it gives us superhuman strength to be able to run as fast as possible, or to be able to fight with superhuman strength. Immediately that this danger is registered by the part of the brain called the amygdala, a series of physical changes take place to enable us to be able to run or to fight with this superhuman strength. So, when the amygdala is triggered, it tells the body to release adrenaline, noradrenaline and cortisol into the system. It also triggers a set of nerves called the sympathetic nervous system. And together what these things do is cause our heart to race, to pound as fast as possible, to pump blood around the whole of the body's system. Also, our breathing rate increases to get oxygen into the blood and to pump that oxygenated blood around the system. The body diverts the blood to the places where it needs it most. So the blood goes to the muscles of the neck and the shoulders and the arms and the legs where it's needed. And it's switched off from places like the extremities, the skin and the stomach. As an effect of this, the digestive system is switched off. And the liver releases sugar and fats into the bloodstream so that there's plenty of fuel for the muscles to burn. Now our vision changes also. The pupils dilate to allow more light in. At the same time, the muscles of the bladder and the bowel are released to release any waste. And at the same time, the body begins to sweat so that we can cool ourselves down, so that we don't get overheated. So it's easy for us to see how all of these changes may be useful to give us energy to get away from a real danger. But it's when this mechanism is triggered by something which isn't an immediate danger, like an upcoming interview or a visit to the supermarket, that it can be problematic. In a situation like this, the amygdala may be triggered for some reason, often out of our conscious awareness. And it's the onset of the fight or flight mechanism in a situation where there's nothing to run away from or to fight, which produces the uncomfortable symptoms that we call anxiety. So you will probably recognize all of the symptoms that you've written down, which get produced by the process of the fight or flight, such as dizziness, blurred vision, pounding heart, rapid breathing which can lead to breathlessness, and shaking as the muscles become tense, and sweating, and feeling the urge to run away, and needing to go to the toilet suddenly. All of these symptoms are actually caused by the physical changes brought on by the fight or flight mechanism, just triggered in a situation where it's not appropriate, where it's not helpful in most cases. In the next section, I'll talk to you about a technique that you can use to bring down those feelings and sensations to make them more manageable.